Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Balanced Vibes podcast. I'm your host, Kirsten. Today, we're going to talk about how to work out if you only have 20 to 30 minutes a day. What should you do? Because a lot of people actually think that if they don't have a full hour, then they can't work out at all, or what's the point? They're not going to make progress. But this is actually not true. You can make a good amount of progress. You can get stronger. You can build more muscle, even with limited time. So this is what we're going to talk about today. Before that, though, I want to remind you, as always, first of all, please subscribe to this channel. If you are watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button because that way you will never miss a new episode. And also, if you are listening to it on a podcast app, make sure that you subscribe there too. Same thing, if you subscribe, you will never miss an episode. The other thing that your subscription helps me to do is to reach more people. And this is really my goal because I want to make sure that more people know that maintaining good health or improving your health and putting on muscle, getting leaner, losing body fat is doable in a truly healthy way. It shouldn't be very restrictive. It shouldn't involve any extreme diets. There's a healthy way of doing it. And this is what I'm trying to teach here. So if you and when you subscribe, then more people can find the podcast. So thank you so much for that already. Okay, so let's talk about workouts then. How can you exercise if you only have 20 to 30 minutes a day? So I actually want to tell you a little bit more about a workout program that I did recently, and it looked exactly like this. It was more frequent than what I usually do, but the workouts were shorter. So usually my workouts look like typically 3 times a week and about an hour or so every time. So on average, it's 3 hours a week, and the rest of the time I'm walking, I'm doing some stretching, mobility, things like that. But the strength training is typically 3 hours per week, give or take a little bit this way or the other. So it's approximately 3 hours. Now, lately, I did a new workout program that was a little bit different. So the workouts were 20 to 30 minutes, and they were 4 to 5 times a week. So more often, but shorter. And overall, the time that I spent at the gym came out a little bit less than my usual 3 hours, right? So what did I then do? So I did a lot of compound lifts. I kept my workouts, like I said, 20 to 30 minutes long, and I rested more between the sets. So especially in the last phase of the workout program, I rested about 3, 4, maybe sometimes even 5 minutes between my lifts. So these are the 30-minute workouts, and literally there are only a couple of compound lifts, lots of rest in between, and I got pretty good results. So what kind of results did I then get? So let me tell you that the 3 major lifts, which are the deadlift, the squat, and the bench press, I had a personal best in 2 of them. And in addition, bench press with dumbbells, I also reached my personal best there as well. So it was pretty awesome. I saw that it definitely works. And my bench press was pretty impressive for me. I actually was able to increase that by about 20 pounds, which is quite a bit of weight. But my deadlift went up 5 pounds, so not a ton, but still a little bit. And my squat stayed the same. So the squat is always the hardest for me to get better at. So I struggle with that the most. So that stayed the same. And then the dumbbell bench press too went up quite significantly. I was really proud of myself because I was able to lift a lot more than typically. So overall, I think what this program allowed me to do was just actually spend a little bit less time working out, even though it was more frequent. Time-wise, it came out a little bit less than usual, and the workouts were shorter. So I can tell you with full certainty that this thing does work. I didn't change anything about my steps. My steps are still typically about between 10 to 15,000 every day. I didn't change that. I just changed the way I did my workouts. And now I have moved on to the next workout program that's again a little bit different. So I like to cycle through different workouts and programs. As always, every phase is about a month long. This is exactly how they are set up in my Train to Build program as well. So if you're interested in checking out Train to Build, then check out the link in the show notes and this description. So it is definitely useful, helpful to change your workout routine every 4 weeks or so. And this is what I'm doing as well, because everything I teach you, I do myself too. But the point here is that you can definitely get great results even if you only have 20 to 30 minutes a day for working out. So now let's talk about what should your workouts look like then if this is the time limit that you have. Now, the first thing is I'm going to tell you that I'm not going to ask you to do HIIT training. A lot of people think, okay, I don't have much time, so I better make the most of the time that I do have. So 20 minutes HIIT training, right? Let me just like go all out and sweat a ton and move real fast and get the heart rate up to burn calories. And I recommend that you don't do it, especially if you have a muscle building goal, if you want to get stronger. Then lift weights, but the way you structure your 20 to 30 minute workout is that you're going to have 2 compound lifts in the workout and then 1 or 2 accessory moves or single joint moves in addition to that. So compound movements are the ones we're using like larger muscle groups, you're using multiple joints. So a couple of examples would be the deadlift, bench press, squat that I already mentioned before too. Also overhead press, also bench press are compound movements, and there are some more. So these are the ones that really challenge your entire body. And you want to do 2 of these per workout, right? Why are these compound lifts so important? Because you use everything in your body to do them. They require more energy and they challenge everything in your body. So compare a deadlift with, for example, a biceps curl. You see that bicep curl challenges only a few muscles, right, in your body, versus a deadlift challenges literally everything. So you're going to have 2 compound movements in this workout, and then you're going to add 1 or 2 of these smaller isolation movements. And actually biceps curl is a good example. Another one would be like triceps exercise, like overhead or kick back, something like that. It could also be calf raise. It could be like hamstring isolating move, something like that. So you do 1 or 2 of these, and there's your workouts, right? So max 4 exercises, 3 or 4 exercises, 2 of them will be compound lifts, and this is how you do it. You still want to have a good rest period, at least a minute, but like I said, towards the end of my recent workout program, when the repetitions were really low, I actually rested like 4 minutes, 3-4 minutes, possibly up to 5 minutes. Sometimes I didn't time it that closely, but I believe this is what it was. And when I lifted the deadlift, I definitely had to rest this much between the sets. And you see that you cannot actually put a whole lot of movements into this workout if you rest like 4 minutes in between. But if you do like, let's say 3 or 4 sets, you do deadlifts and then you do the overhead press and then you rest, there's actually not much time you have left anymore. And this is actually a good workout, because this type of workout is better. You just do 2 compound movements plus 1 isolation movement. This is much better than pushing like 25 different exercises, trying to do them in 1 hour workout, and you're not going to get so much out of it. So definitely compound lifts are the way to go, really challenging the body, moving heavy weight, and you're going to see results from it. So now let's say that you have a workout program right now that you're following that is a pretty standard 1 hour workout, like, 3 days a week, just like I said, which is my typical go-to type of training too. And you do have only 20 to 30 minutes a day. So what can you do? You can also split it up. So there are 2 ways of doing it. One way is to do these workouts on 2 separate days. So you take your 1 workout 1, and you're going to do half of it on Monday and second half on Tuesday, right? And then you take your second workout and then you do half of it on Wednesday and second half on Thursday. And a lot of people actually tell me that they like this because one reason is that they feel that they're more consistent. So this is very good for those who are struggling with consistency, because now when you are at the gym or at your home gym very frequently, that's 6 days a week, but you're only working out about 20 to 30 minutes, that kind of creates the habit of going there every day. Now it's something that you do. So if you struggle with consistency, I think this is a great thing. This might be better for you versus like going every other day and you don't build up that type of consistency. So this might be very helpful for those of you who struggle with, doing the work every, consistency enough. The other way of splitting up these workouts can be so that you do half of the workout in the morning and the other one later in the day. And this is also very good for example, moms. I've noticed because they say that I can get a little bit done earlier in the day when the kids are not up yet, and then the second half I could do later sometime. I can like find another 25 minutes or so. Can I split it up like that? And yeah, you absolutely can do it. Do half in the morning, half in the evening or afternoon. It's still the same workout. So it works perfectly well. You can absolutely do it like this. Now, let's say that there's a situation where you just don't have weights with you, or you don't have access to weights, but you still have 20 to 30 minutes. You're thinking, what do I do? For example, like lunch hour, or you get like a break at work. You can't go and work out necessarily unless you work out at home or unless you have a gym at work. So what can you do then? You could do a little bit of mobility. So mobility doesn't require any equipment, but it's really good for your joints. It's really good for your muscles. And how does mobility then help you? You might be wondering, okay, aren't we talking about strength here? Yes, but mobility helps you so that if your joints are healthier, if you're moving better, then you can actually improve your workout performance when you do your gym workouts, right? For example, you can squat lower if you are working on your hip mobility and ankle mobility, or you can push the weights overhead if your shoulder mobility is good. So maybe you could just, sit down and get a mat, or you don't even always need a mat, and do just a couple of mobility moves, move your body, stretch, and then spend your 20 minutes like this. Stretching is also really nice. It can be also really calming. So you can find something on YouTube. I think this is the only time when I actually recommend YouTube workouts, when you want to do like a little yoga flow and you find somebody like Yoga with Adriene, who is great. I sometimes use her workouts, and I know I have one client who loves her stuff. So just find a little workout from her, like a little yoga mobility flow, and this is perfect. It doesn't always have to be weights, especially if you just don't have them on hand. So it's so much better to still move your body than not do anything at all. And then the last thing that you can do is just go for a walk. If you have that break, you know that you got 20, 30 minutes. So what you could do is you could just like sit down and scroll your phone. But why would you do that if you could instead go outside and take a nice walk? Especially if you do it in the middle of the day to before returning to work. You notice that when you do return to work, you can have better energy. You're feeling a little bit more motivated. You're just feeling a little bit better because you have moved your body. It's also really good to get some sunlight, daylight and sun on your skin. And it's, of course, walking also increases your steps, obviously, which will help to burn a little bit extra calories, but doing it in a gentle way. It doesn't always have to be workout. So it's really important that you keep doing that. And also those little lunch breaks, or like pockets of time where you have 20 to 30 minutes, if you use that for walking, then you don't have to think about it so much anymore. Because if you have a step count that you're trying to hit, let's say that your goal is 10,000 steps, and you're always thinking, how am I going to do this? Where I'm going to find the time? You're sitting at work and you think, oh my God, later in the day, I still have to go and take my steps. Well, why don't you also already do it during the day? If you have a little bit of time, get it done. Then you have so much less to do later in the day. So this is definitely my recommendation to to just get a little bit of movement. It doesn't mean that you have to like obsessively walking every single break that you have. But I don't think too many people are doing that anyway. I think most people could actually move a little bit more, and you can use that little bit of time for walking or mobility. So I hope you know that it's not a waste of time. Like if you only have 20 minutes, like I'm not going to do it, because I have heard it. I have seen people say, well, what's the point if I can't spend the whole hour? What's the point of doing the workout? Well, there's a lot of point to do the workout, because just like I told you, I personally was able to improve my personal bests in many of the big lifts by doing these 20, 25, 30-minute workouts. And it was great. So, a lot of people also notice that their recovery is better because they don't get so tired from the workout, compared to 1 hour workout. So it's definitely useful. And you can also break this workout up into two parts if you are following 1 hour workout. So you do half in the morning, half in the evening, or you can just do it in a separate day. So I hope this episode was helpful for you. And if you have any questions, let me know. Also, if you are in my Facebook group, which is called Fit and Fueled, then there I will give you a free workout plan, 2 workouts where you can see, where you can learn what heavy lifting really looks like, what a good programming really looks like. This is really great for those who have the circuit training background. They have never truly lifted heavy. They don't know how to do this. How much should they rest? What do the movements actually should look like? And it's also good for those who are just getting started with lifting. You just don't know where to start. So this is a simple plan that works. You won't find any fancy, tricky, crazy movements there with equipment that you've never seen before. I don't do that because it's unnecessary. So this workout plan is very simple. It's very effective. It is twice a week, and you can just try it out. Ask me any questions. You can even send me a video if you want me to check that. All that happens through the Fit and Fuel Facebook group. So if you want that workout plan, please join the group first and then send me a message that you want it. I will definitely help you out, because my goal is to help you to understand what it looks like to really lift heavy, what it looks like to actually put on muscle, what is required for you to do that. So this is really my goal. So reach out if you need help with that. Okay, so this is all for today. Thank you so much for watching or listening, and I will see you again in the next episode. Take care.